There's also wanted posters. They're everywhere on local businesses. The FBI raising the reward to a combined $25,000 this afternoon. They are warning that he is extremely dangerous and armed, Rich.
Brooke Taylor live for us in Arkansas. Brooke, thank you. For more on this and also the continued search for inmates who broke out of a New Orleans jail, let's bring in Fox News contributor and former FBI Special Agent Nicole Parker. Nicole, thanks for joining us this afternoon. This is quite a case. This former police officer, how did he get this uniform and what's going on in this search? How come they haven't found him yet?
Well, that's a great question on how he got the uniform. Obviously, he disguised himself as some sort of corrections officer, law enforcement officer. He was able to fool the individual who let him out of that gate. And, in law enforcement, we want things obviously to happen very quickly, but sometimes it does take time. And he has, the advantage of a very rugged terrain in his near vicinity with the Ozarks. That's very difficult to search. And again, with the weather conditions, law enforcement's doing the best that they can, but they are utilizing drones, canines, helicopters. And like was mentioned, the FBI has, offered a reward for $20,000 leading to his arrest. And I can tell you that as an FBI agent, human intelligence is still the most valuable. If you see something, say something, do consider him armed and dangerous. Do not approach him. Remain safe with your families. I understand this is very, very uncomfortable. We've, heard of many jailbreaks recently. It's not comforting to you as citizens, but it will get solved. I have no doubt in my mind. But let's give law enforcement some time. But of course, if you see something, say something, report the tips, and let law enforcement follow up on those.
Yeah, you mentioned that, you think he's going to get caught. I mean, he's surviving in the woods, it seems, in the Ozarks. I mean, yes, it's probably good terrain to hide in, but it's not the most hospitable territory, is it?
Definitely not. And eventually he's going to get desperate. People always need food and they always need water. And, people make mistakes. These people think that they're on the run for good and they make mistakes. They get tired, they get exhausted, and they get desperate. And that's when law enforcement can hone in.
There's also been some reporting and discussion about his holding in a medium security prison. Do you think it was appropriate to put a former law enforcement officer who was charged and convicted of these violent crimes in a medium security prison?
I personally do not. Someone who's been charged with murder and, convicted of rape and murder. I mean, those are the two most serious crimes I believe that anyone can commit. A medium facility system, that's one of the problems in a lot of these prison systems right now. They are understaffed. They are overpopulated. They do not have the appropriate technology and things to stop these prisoners from escaping. But again, people are doing the best that they can. Right now, my focus is let's get this person apprehended and everyone remains safe.
And the family of the victims, too. I think they've said to local reporters that they're extremely nervous that he's out on the run. Of course they are. I mean, how much should law enforcement be making sure that they're protected?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's number one priority for any law enforcement officer is to keep their community safe. And as members of the community, please follow law enforcement's instructions. Do not approach the individual. Call 911 if you see any sightings of who you might think that is the individual. But again, keeping the community safe, always the top priority. Use common sense. But again, keep your eyes and ears open, stay vigilant, keep your head on a swivel.
So now over to New Orleans, where there were 10 inmates who escaped. There's still 2 more on the run. Here's a little back and forth with local prison officials on how those prisoners escaped.
There have also been a number of problems since the escape actually happened. I know the sheriff's office is here today, but maybe I'll speak to why the state of your facilities in such shambles.
We're not going to comment on the jail or any conditions prior to. We're just looking forward. We have 8 captured.
I mean, we just talked about a minute ago, Nicole, how there are underfunded facilities, understaffed facilities, but this seems to be on the pretty extreme end of facilities that you've seen, no?
Right. And I mean, again, I have not served in New Orleans, but I do have friends from the FBI who have served as special agents in the New Orleans area. And it is something that is a very serious problem there. New Orleans has, a lot that they deal with. There are histories of, people aiding and abetting individuals. There's a history of public corruption. And so I appreciate that the Attorney General there, Liz Murrell, is getting in there and she's taking charge of the investigation and she's looking for accountability and she's looking to fix these problems.
Do you think that, you see a jailbreak like this, 10 at a time, have you ever seen anything that's been, this large in scale, this many people breaking out of jail at the same time?
Not in recent history, not that I'm familiar with, no. But again, that was a very calculated escape. The data says that between 2019 and 2023, within the federal system, nearly 1,400 people have been sentenced for, prison or jail escapes. And that's in the federal system alone. Those are people that were sentenced according to the United States Commissioning Service and Reports. And so again, this is not something new, but to have that many individuals from one system, yes, that should give everyone pause. They need to get in there, they need to fix that. That is a serious problem. problem.
All right, Nicole Parker, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
My pleasure. Thank you.